No.
I'm Melanie Gordon. I'm from Rutgers Law School in Camden. This is on marketing using photography. All right, I'm going to show you this really short, quick video. This is going to show the power of photography and how hard it is to take a good picture. It's just like a funny thing just to get started. If it's too loud, I'm just going to make it lower, but I'm hoping that you can see it because it's, I had to make it bigger.
One of those photo booths, you put a couple of bucks in, they give you a strip of pictures, 4 or 5 pictures. We went to Universal Studios Hollywood. We rigged up our photo booth with hidden cameras to see just how far people would go for free photos. Absolutely free. It's time for another installment of The Tonight Show Phony Photo Booth. Take a look.
Welcome to the Universal Studios free photo booth. To activate, please sit down and close the curtain. Please cover your eyes to protect them from the flash. Welcome to the Universal Studios free photo booth. Get ready for your free photos, miss. Please sit down. Please stay seated. Thank you. Please sit. Please sit down now. Why do you want to go away? Welcome to the Universal Studios free photo booth.
Just come on. Your breath really stinks now.
Please give him a mint. Please send one child out and keep your favorite child in the booth. Please smile. Please tickle each other to make each other smile. Thank you. Your photos will be free if your son can recite the alphabet.
You have to say the alphabet. Okay, go.
A.
Please.
D.
I think it's time to stop homeschooling your son. Please use your camera to take a picture of yourself. Not of me, of you. Thank you. There's your free picture. You're welcome.
What does it do?
To activate, please smile.
Yeah.
Are you dating each other?
No. Who's this?
Am I your type?
Yeah. You look like...
I'm tall and blonde.
How much do you weigh?
110.
Are you flirting?
Yes. Please smile for your free photos. Please smile bigger.
I cannot because I've got gaps in my teeth.
Smile big and put your hand over your mouth. Beautiful. Your hair looks great. Did you spend a long time fixing it?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw you in the mirror. Please smile. Please look angry.
Oh my God, how?
Think of something that makes you angry. What are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of my enemy.
Who is your enemy?
My very best friend. Now my enemy.
Do you want me to kick her ass?
It's up to you.
The mirror's right here, Melanie. She's laying around for the mirror. She's like,
The photos are outside. Please exit immediately.
what? What'd you say?
Please exit immediately or you will suffer the consequences.
Come on, yeah.
Well, that was my introduction to show you it's really difficult to get some good photos, especially of people. So hopefully you enjoyed that. All right. Okay. I'm going to talk to you about marketing. First, a definition of marketing is the activities of a company associated with buying and selling a product or service. It includes advertising, selling, and delivering products to people. People who work in marketing departments of companies try to get the attention of target audiences by using slogans, packaging design, celebrity endorsements, and general media exposure. The 4 P's of marketing are product, place, price, and promotion. Many people believe that marketing is just about advertising or sales. However, marketing is everything a company does to acquire customers and maintain a relationship with them. Even the small tasks like writing thank you letters, playing golf with a prospective client, returning calls promptly, and meeting with a past client for coffee can be thought of as marketing. The ultimate goal of marketing is to match a company's products and services to the people who need and want them, thereby ensure profitability. As you know, marketing is especially important in these economic times. The New York Times had an article on June 5th of this year entitled, "A Study in Why Major Law Firms Are Shrinking." A Wall Street law firm, White & Case, a 100-year-old law firm, has laid off 70 young lawyers and closed some offices in other countries. 200 more associates and partners would soon have to be laid off as well. Some top law firms like Thatcher, Prophet, and Wood, established before the Civil War, have already gone under. According to the article, in the first quarter of 2009, demand for legal services in New York decreased by nearly 10% over 2008, according to the Hildebrand International Peer Monitor Index. At least 10,000 employees at major firms across the country have lost their jobs so far this year, according to the layoff tracker run by the blog lawshucks.com. At the root of the law firm crisis, legal experts say, is the credit crisis, which has mostly stopped the need for traditional practice areas like structured finance, mergers and acquisitions, and private equity transactions. The downward trend has been unrelenting. Fewer Wall Street deals mean fewer Wall Street lawyers. This bottom line focus was in evidence at a recent meeting of the New York State Bar Association's Committee for Lawyers in Transition. It was a grim affair. A few dozen laid-off lawyers trading business cards at a midtown firm, while another few hundred virtually via the internet. The talk was of regrettable losses, reduced hour arrangements, and contract assignments in which one might contribute in a non-billable, read no-pay way. With Wall Street in a meltdown, big law suddenly found it impossible to pay young lawyers 6 months out of law school, $160,000 a year, to stare at their hands. Indeed, after offering jobs to dozens of third-year law students last fall, White & Case told 60% of them that they would have to wait a year to start. In the legalmarketingblog.com, published by Tom Kane, he recently wrote, "Law school admissions are down." An article on yesterday's NewYorkLawyer.com site asked the question, where are all the lawyer wannabes? It reports that law school applications are down by as much as 4.6 this year, continuing a 3-year decline. Could college students and grads be hearing stories from friends, relatives, and alums who are who know lawyers that make up more than 40% of law school graduates who go solo, or the 80%, according to former ABA President Michael Greco, who practice as solo or in small law firms. And those stories could include tales about how the vast majority of lawyers are not starting out with or even making anywhere near salaries in the $150,000 range. Even with years of experience under their belts, most are not making anything close to that. A Chicago Tribune article on March 9th of this year states, job market rough for new law graduates. One firm cutting starting salaries by 10%, others rescinding job offers. Law firms have rescinded job offers because of the recession. Others have pushed back start dates by several months or asked incoming lawyers to defer their jobs for a year in exchange for a part of their salary. Now their starting salaries are at risk. McGuire Woods LLP confirmed Monday that it will cut starting salaries by 10%. In Chicago, the class of 2009 will make $144,000 instead of $160,000. The firm said it was a logical move considering that it also froze associate salaries in 2009 at last year's levels. If the class of 2009 was paid the same as the class of 2008, you start to get morale problems. Other firms are expected to follow suit. Obviously, the $150,000, $160,000, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm nowhere near that, but it's just the fact of saying to your incoming law students or outgoing, you know, you're not going to make this and you're not going to be able to pay your loans. So why pictures are an important marketing tool is basically what I'm trying to explain. It's in addition to everything else. I'm just pulling in why pictures are important. So what's a school to do? For starters, you're going to have to develop a website or advertisement that accurately reflects your school. Studies have shown over and over again that customers, which are your students, make decisions based on gut feelings, often based on their impression of your school and your website or brochure. If you present them with an old-fashioned, outdated website, brochure, or advertisement and billboards, what do you think they will remember if they remember you at all? Use Google Analytics or some other way to analyze which pages your visitors go to on the web and see if it helps to decide if you're using the correct photos and to change them often. Are customers suddenly responding to something you didn't highlight in your products? Are they bored with your current promotions or website? Do your photos seem outdated? Read everything you can about new ideas and cultural trends. You don't have to try to apply every one of them, but you do need to know what your customer knows. Keying into changes on a weekly basis ensures that you won't suddenly find yourself with an outdated marketing strategy and no customers, and your picture shows this instantly. Marketing using Facebook. Marketing a school through photos isn't as far-fetched as it might seem at first. What does Facebook encourage you to do? Put up photos to show things about your life. Create a Facebook page for your institution, which is different than a normal Facebook profile. Click on education, then click on organization. If you can't find out how to create a page, click on the help at the bottom of most pages. Just show you, this is the university, Rutgers University. What kind of marketing can this do for a law school? A great deal. A lot of people that will be coming to your law school will be on Facebook. So your school needs to have a page. They can sign up as fans of the page, the people that are supposedly coming in. The page needs pictures, photographs of the law school, and the kind of people that would be attracted to come to your law school should be in those photos. People like to comment on the photos, and by word of mouth, your law school will start having lots of fans and traffic. It's free advertising. Now, I just want to show you, there's pictures on this page. They're okay, you know, so show some students. I think that they could do better. But as far as albums, like you can have photo albums. They have one photo album, and I think it has like 4 pictures. So there's another one of a law school in Sydney, Australia. Just to show you the difference, they have 35 photo albums. And they show their law school. It's a really gorgeous law school. And they have not only do they show like the law school, it looks really gorgeous, you know, and it just, you want to make an impression. You want the people to think, I'd really like to go there. This is what it looks like. Not that people are going to Sydney, Australia, but
Maybe Kelly can next year.
that would be nice. Yeah, that would be really good. All right, so should you advertise on Facebook? That's another thing. You can also advertise on Facebook. They take advertisements. Facebook's advertising technology already allows advertisers to choose which sort of customers will see their display advertisements when they log onto the site. Advertisers can choose from such categories as where the user is located and their age and gender based upon which user has uploaded, what the user has uploaded to Facebook, which is adding about 450,000 new users a day. Last year, Facebook launched its engagement ads tool, which allows advertisers to publish a poll on people's homepages. They are then able to see how their friends and other Facebook users have voted. The polls, which can include all actions as well as watching and rating a movie trailer, are being tested by companies including AT&T and CareerBuilder.com. The American recruitment website used its trial Facebook polls to ask people what they thought of the advertisement that was played during the coverage of the 43rd Super Bowl. The first widespread use of polls is expected in the spring. Facebook also has a tool called Facebook Lexicon, which is a bit like Google Trends in that it allows users to track what topics are being discussed by people on Facebook. While Google Trends uses the search terms that are entered into its site, Facebook Lexicon looks at one of the most visible parts of a user's profile page, their wall, where people and their friends exchange public messages. It provides a searchable database of trends over time, showing how the incidence of particular words or phrases has increased or decreased in wall posts. Facebook Lexicon shows that the company already has a significant database of user information which it could exploit, and the tools are in place to allow companies to use this information for market research purposes, which could help schools to find out how to market to certain age groups, gender, race, etc. Okay, just give me a second. I just got to go back to... I just took that too. All right, the impact of photos on marketing. Have you ever noticed how some websites seem to draw you in immediately while others lose your attention in a matter of just a minute or two? Have you wondered what sets them apart? Is it a difference in the marketing techniques used? Think about that feeling we all have when we are seriously looking at a product or service. Often, we're trying to decide whether we should make a purchase or not. Our biggest fear is making a mistake. If we stay at this point in the thought process too long, instead of thinking about reasons why we should go ahead and buy now, we are likely to start thinking of reasons why we should not buy. I believe that we need to come at it from the aspect of helping our visitors convince themselves why they should find out more about the school. We want them to get past the thought of money and over to imagining already going to the school and a sense of belonging. Although content continues to be essential to the success of your website, the photos you choose to display can have significant impact on your marketing efforts. Frequently, you will make a person choose when the perceived value of a school exceeds their expectations. You can choose to lower a customer's expectation, or you can choose to increase the perceived value. Choosing the right pictures to portray your product or service can make that challenge easier for you. Imagine for a moment that I have invested a lot of time in the search engine optimization and marketing of my website to attract a target audience interested in going to a law school. Let's say that I also took the time to write quality content that builds tremendous value and had my visitors to the point of literally drooling over the chance to come to visit the law school. But then I only showed them a snapshot similar to this one. Can you see how easily the value of this school could suddenly hit rock bottom? Can you also see where I might lose all interest that I had developed in the school up to this point? It isn't that this is a horrible picture per se, but rather that it just does not grab attention. It does not make it easy for my visitor to feel as if they're actually seeing and almost being at the school. What if I took my camera and just moved around and showed different parts of the school? Are you starting to see how I can grab my visitor's attention with the right photograph? Are you starting to see how I can build value in my product with the right photographs? I could show with photographs what makes this school feeling inviting and comfortable and want to visit it. Then when they actually do visit it, they might feel like they've already been there before and consider themselves at home. Motivational speaker Zig Ziglar defines sales as a transference of belief. This is an important factor in understanding how the photos you display can play a significant role in the overall success of your website, advertisement, or Facebook page. Regardless of the primary purpose of your site, you are selling something. This isn't limited to a product or service. If your site is strictly informational, you still had a reason for creating it. If nothing else, aren't we hoping to sell our visitors or on staying on our sites long enough to hear what we have to say? The right pictures can help you draw your visitors into hearing what you have to say as long as they add to your content without detracting from it. You will not be disappointed when you notice that people are staying on your site longer. Remember, the longer your visitors remain on your site, the more likely they are to convince themselves that they absolutely have to go to your school. Using a professional to shoot your photographs is the best way to go. Quality photos at a level of professionalism. Visual methods using photographs to capture students' experience. Photography-based research approaches. Images are important communicating impressions on the physical world, and so a photography-based method might be beneficial when evaluating experience design issues. Used in conjunction with language-based methods, photographic images offer a valuable tool for assessing the guest experience in hospitality environments. The use of photography has been explored in research relating to recreation, leisure, and tourism, as well as to landscape, architectural, and urban design. Photography is also useful in marketing and new product development. For example, California-based design consulting firm IDEO used photographs and journals to evaluate consumers' use of products for its clients, which include Apple, Palm, and Procter & Gamble. What elements of a design environment make a significant impression on students? What types of meaning do students infer from the visual images? How can images be related to other quantitative measures such as student overall satisfaction with their experience or intent to come to the school? What can we learn through photographs that would not have been revealed through other methods? 3 photography-based research methodologies can be used, namely photojournaling, photo interviewing, and photo surveying. Photojournaling is an approach that would be familiar to most travelers who have put together a scrapbook, slideshow, or a video show of a trip. Students can take pictures or videos with their experiences and create a journal that records what or who they observed, why they took a specific image, and what the image meant to them. Students can be instructed to record their impressions of each image and supplement the recording with a diary for additional thoughts or opinions. Capturing interpretation and the image, coincidentally, is likely to result in a more accurate response, but may be more cumbersome for students who find it awkward to provide much depth in their response, depending on the circumstances under which the image was taken. Photo interviewing uses photographs as the basis of the depth interview process. The visual images open a way for deeper reflection and discussion during the interview. The respondent might be asked to pick out and discuss photographs that represent the most memorable aspects of their day. Alternatively, respondents may be asked to discuss a certain set of photos. The photographs can trigger a new and deeper meaning for participants than a straight interview would have provided. Photo surveying incorporates photos into a survey format. Here the photos can be rated or ranked according to some criterion, such as liked best or liked least. These photos could be taken by a student during his or her day, or professional photos of existing designs to solicit feedback. Similarly, the photos can be integrated into conjoint or choice modeling experiments to gauge the impact of the visual image and its composition relative to other salient factors such as the price and location of your school. All of these methods might be useful tools to research and explore how college-age students respond to your particular law school and help you find out how to attract more people to enroll. Visual data analysis. Unlike numeric surveys, data from graphic sources are subjective and require content-based analytical methodologies. Most approaches start with some type of content analysis similar to what is done with verbal data drawn from an open-end question, interviews, or focus group. Here the researcher devises a set of descriptive labels or categories for the images with supporting interview text. Text from respondents, written journals, or interviews support these labels since a researcher's interpretation of a chosen photograph has the limitation that only the photographer can explain her or his own visual image and the reasons why she or he took that photograph. For design research, it is important to know what particular element the respondent intended to photograph. For example, a photo inside a classroom with a desk and chair may be intended to showcase the desks, the chairs, the windows, or some other feature, not to mention functional or aesthetic issues about windows that were relevant to the respondent. Therefore, the picture may be assigned both an object code stating the main discussion point of the photo and a meaning code saying why this particular photo was taken. The code categories must meet the following criteria. Each one must be exhaustive. That is, every aspect of the images with which the research is concerned must be covered by a category. They must be exclusive. That is, categories must not overlap. They must be enlightening, and that categories must be analytically interesting and coherent. Once the images are coded, the next stage is to count the number of images in each code category to produce a quantitative account of their content. Here is where traditional statistical analysis comes into play. For example, if we examine the differences in category counts between different groups, say men and women, 22 to 25-year-old students, and 34 to 45-year-old students, we might learn which focal points and elements create a particular type of experience for each of these groups. This analysis allows the researcher to identify any statistically significant differences between subsets of the students and perhaps to make inferences about more appropriate design for each group. Provided sample sizes are sufficient, accompanying the photographic data collection with a few basic quantitative survey questions can allow the researcher to relate measures of the process evaluation's overall satisfaction and loyalty to the photographic content analysis. Using this approach, researchers can determine whether the frequency of certain visual images is significantly related to outcome measures, typically using some type of regression model to assess the strength and direction of relationships between photo content and students' quantitative responses. Color is an asset to capture attention and interest. Did you know that a photo attracts more attention than any other element you can use in a marketing piece? It's just human nature. We relate more readily to pictures than to written words. If a person looks at a photo, they will almost always read its caption, and the information in the caption will be retained better because of its memory link to the photo. These facts add us up to opportunity. Getting the most from photos. Here are some guidelines for using photos and captions effectively. People in photos should normally mirror the identity of your prospects, age, occupation, socioeconomic level, etc. There should be a reason for using the photo. For example, it should encourage your prospect to read the text. Quality counts in photos. Your response rate will increase by using attractive models or student and professional photography. Captions don't need to describe the photo. Instead, use them as a mini ad, and be sure to mention your school's name. Captions can be up to 1/3 the height of the photo without discouraging readership. Color is an asset. Added primaries are the three colors of light, red, green, and blue, that produce all the colors in the visible spectrum when added together in different combinations. Adding equal parts of red, blue, and green light produces white. The complete absence of red, blue, and green light results in black. Computer monitors are devices that use the added primaries to create color. Subtractive primaries are pigments, which create the spectrum of colors in different combinations. Unlike monitors, printers use subtractive primaries, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black pigments to produce colors through subtractive mixing. The term subtractive is used because the primary colors are pure until you begin mixing them together, resulting in colors that are less pure versions of the primaries. For example, orange is created through the subtractive mixing of magenta and yellow together. This is the color wheel. If you're new to adjusting color components, it helps to keep a standard color wheel diagram on hand when you work with color balance. You can use the color wheel to predict how a change in one color component affects other colors, and also how changes translate between RGB and CMYK color models. For example, you can decrease the amount of any color or in an image by increasing the amount of its opposite in the color wheel, and vice versa. Colors that lie on opposite each other on the standard color wheel are known as complementary colors. Similarly, you can increase and decrease a color by adjusting the two adjacent colors on the wheel, or even by adjusting the two colors adjacent to its opposite. In a CMYK image, you can decrease magenta either by decreasing the amount of magenta or by increasing the complement, which is green, the color on the opposite side of the color wheel, by magenta. In an RGB image, you can decrease magenta by removing red and blue or by adding green. All of these adjustments result in an overall color balance containing less magenta. Color psychology. It's very important in aspect to our visual experience is color. Why is color so important? Color sells. It's human nature. Our eyes naturally move toward color. Then I just have examples. Yellow. Adults automatically associate with children. It demands attention. It's the color of optimism. It enhances concentration, and it speeds metabolism. It's considered a temporary color when used in certain shades. Think taxi cab yellow, for example. That particular shade of yellow wouldn't be advisable for a bank's logo or marketing materials because they don't want to elicit the feeling of being temporary with their institution. When mixed with black, actually it causes a physical, muscular drawback in human beings. Think bumblebee, and you quickly understand why. Contrary to belief, it does not elicit happiness or brightness in everyone, since more people lose their tempers in yellow rooms, and babies with yellow rooms tend to cry more often. It has a tendency to reduce the apparent value of a product. You therefore would not want to use that in packaging products that you want to have perceived as high value. It's the most difficult color on the eye, and therefore can be overpowering if used too much. Red is a color that always attracts attention. It's associated with strength and desire. It can be used to promote danger, as with emergency exit and stop signs. It promotes violence and anger in some people. It stimulates buying action. It stimulates the appetite, which is why it's often used in restaurants. It's overpowering and must therefore be used with caution. It stimulates a faster heartbeat, quickens breathing, and raises blood pressure. It's preferred by women in a blue base and preferred by men in a yellow base. In China, it symbolizes celebration and good luck. In India, it's the color of purity and therefore used in wedding outfits. Pink is in all shades, including mauve, is a color that produces a chemical in the brain that actually calms people. White is a color that means purity and virginity in the Western world. But in Asia, it means death and mourning. It represents reverence, humility, innocence, birth, and peace. It denotes simplicity and precision and associated with everything good. It represents youth and reflects light. It goes with every other color. In Eastern cultures, it signifies coldness and sterility. Blue is a color that's associated with sky and water, things that are cool, calm, tranquil, peaceful, and clean. It's the color of harmony, unity, and security. It's liked by the widest ranges of human beings. It produces measurable amounts of tranquilizing hormones. It slows the pulse rate and lowers the body temperature. It depresses the appetite, which is why you seldom see it used by restaurants. It's associated with truth, trust, stability, loyalty, sincerity, and dependability. If it's used much in heavy, deep tones, it can be depressive and cold. For those of the Jewish faith, it symbolizes holiness. In Chinese, it's associated with immortality. In the Middle East, it's a protective color. Green is a color that symbolizes nature and environment. It's considered the color of health, youth, vigor, and renewal because it symbolizes spring. It's viewed by some as the color of jealousy and envy. It appeals to the highest market of individuals when used by itself. So as you can see, you have to be really, really careful when using these colors, because if you're going to an Asian market or you have some Asian students and you use a certain color, they may be offended by it and you think it's really, really good. Here are 10 thoughts and examples of things you can do with photos. When communicating with prospective students, you can try to create a bond with them and by quickly adding a photo of yourself to your email signature. Additionally, you can be sure to provide a link to your personal Facebook page from your photo to encourage the prospective students to add you as a friend and let them get to know you personally. On your Facebook page, for example, you can put up photos of you doing all sorts of things. Let them know you as a person, not just someone at the university. Use photos to create a compelling email template. For example, you can have photos that appear at the top of your email and then again at the bottom, linked to various places on your university website that might be of interest to the prospective student. You can add photos below your signature showing either funny or interesting things that have recently happened at the university, such as students having fun after hours or any kind of special event, faculty members interacting with students in a non-classroom environment, and so forth. Of course, all of this depends on your email system. You can use many of these same photos that you present in your brochures on your website or in your emails, but don't necessarily overdo it. Just make sure there's some consistency. Offer prospective students the ability to sign up by email so that they can receive new photos from things happening at the law school. Maybe call it something like, join our photo blast. Prospective students will want to sign up and see photos behind the scenes of things going on. Pulling in prospective students, making them feel part of everything even before they apply. If you have time and want to do something really interesting, here's a site. This person did photo manipulation. I don't know if you've ever seen this. I don't know if you can you tell? It's, I don't know how difficult this stuff is, but just to make your photos interesting on your site so that they would be, try to pull them in. If you do something around like this, around your university, I'm not sure what that one is, but if you can kind of see how you can make photos really interesting. I mean, obviously this is going to take quite a bit of time, but if you can do something at your university, possibly on a wall, like take a brick wall or something and put your dean's face so it looks like it's actually into the brick or something. Just, I don't know whether it's on your website or on Facebook. It just might be a cool way to use photos so that prospective students might be like, wow, this school is cool, I want to go there. Just something else you can do with photos. And then I just made another slideshow to show you. We have, at the third year, we give the students awards, and the day before that they graduate, and I put together a slideshow using their photos and my photos, and it usually comes out pretty good, you know, depending on what kind of photos that they give you. This should go by itself. Just things that happen around the schools. Not that these are necessarily the most interesting photos, but pulling in their photos too that they give you if they're good. Showing, like, you can use these on your website, again, Facebook page or whatever. It's like, these are students that go to our law school and they are having fun. Like, we're telling you, yes, they are having fun. So it's just another thing that you can do with photos. We also had a contest at one point saying, you know, somebody's going to win, their photo is going to be on the main page of the web page that we have. So we got a lot of photos in from students. So that's basically it. I don't know if anybody has any questions. It's like a few of you here, but comments.
With photography with the actual people, and how do you go about the whole legal issue of putting them on the web and things like that?
Well, usually we've just been saying, you know, this is going to be on the website, but apparently there's like, you know, once you're signed up into school, your supposed to be able to allow your face to be on the website. You know, and then if you're just taking pictures like around, like they don't know you're taking pictures, that we don't have them like actually where you can see their faces. It might just be like a scene with students in it. You know, you could have like a legal thing where you say sign this, but most of the time, like if I've taken pictures in the actual classroom while the class is going on, and we just say to them, you know, this is going to be on the web, do you mind? And then if anybody minds, they'll move to the back of the class and I won't take their picture. But we say, you know, this is going to be on the website, do you mind? And, you know, nobody really minds. Once in a while I have like one student move to the back. So that's basically it. Obviously all the student ones, you know, once they give us their picture, that's it. We can use it. So.
We have a formal waiver that the communications department has that someone will have to sign if they're in video or in photo. I think they're trying to do that with all the incoming students and have them sign it as part of orientation.
Oh, that's really good.
So that's it on file.
Yeah.
The one thing we have a problem with, or I have a problem with, is every time you do like a symposium or something, they always want pictures of all the actual event. And you've got to, figure out whether you know you have to have a signature and stuff from the actual speakers. But
right.
The attendees in that room, if they're in the picture, does it really matter? Is there a difference?
Sometimes if it's a public event versus a private event, I haven't gotten that far into it yet.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between photography and video as far as papers go?
We use the same thing in our case.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea though, have it at orientation.
Sure.
And just have everybody sign it like
Yeah.
your face can be in various things that happen on campus.
But Melanie, how often do you shoot? Is this something you do each week?
It's not each week, but pretty good, you know, maybe every couple weeks. I mean, they're shooting some things, events that happen, you know, most of the events, there's alumni events, just things going on in the law school.
Is there a designated person that does the photography, or is it yourself? Okay.
Yeah.
And
I've been doing it.
how do you store all of your photography?
We have pretty good amount of stuff, like we have drives and it's backed up. And it's just, we just have a good amount of storage
Do you use
space.
anything like Extensis where you could store notes in relation to the photos? Or?
No, but that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I haven't done anything like that.
We've actually used Flickr for storage for all of our stuff. When I came aboard about a year ago, first thing I did was create a Flickr account for the communications department. And Flickr's been, you know, a number of sets based on the events organized by year.
Right.
I can tag it, people's names if need be, or the event. They're all private. I don't make these public. If there are cases where we do make them public, I make them public to create slideshows.
Right.
So, because we don't have the capacity for an in-house database or anything like that. So it's been probably the cheapest and the easiest way for us to organize our photos.
And you're not afraid of, like, if it goes down, like...
If it goes down, I still have the discs.
Okay.
I've got them all organized by year and no
Yeah, as
problem.
long as
I'm
you're
more
backed up.
concerned about if we have a fire in the building. I can contact Flickr and say, can I purchase the backups of our photos?
Yeah.
So it goes both ways.
Yeah. That's good. All right. Well, that's it.
Thank you.